Ready? Welcome. This is going to be a horrible episode. I can feel it already. Okay, welcome back. Episode 26 of the Can You Geek podcast. The sigh is Errane. The silent one in the back is Sid.
I was breathing.
I'm Steve.
I'm afraid.
I was just breathing. Okay.
Oh,
That creepy, heavy breathing. I'm afraid.
yeah, I would be afraid too.
I found
honestly.
a card sleeve with a My Little Pony on the back of it. Speaking of which, we have a really cool thing coming out October 22nd. Magic the Gathering is partnering up because the last season of My Little Pony is coming out. And they're releasing 3 My Little Pony Magic cards. I have zero
Seriously?
interest. Yeah, I have zero interest in My Little Pony. Absolutely none. I've never cared about that show or anything, but I will have those Magic cards. I've got an alarm set for the 21st and earlier in the 22nd just to remind me to get them because I have to collect them. I have to have them.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah. What was our topic about?
Our topic today is, so it's actually an older topic. It's something that's been happening for a while, but it's come more into the light. It's writers who have previously given up the creation rights to their stories are taking them back now. So apparently there's a law that after 30 years, you're allowed to take them back if a movie hasn't been made within a certain amount of time. And so it's called the Zerner Law, or the website is Zerner Law. I'm a little tipsy right now, I'll be honest.
I think we all are.
You alcoholic.
Yeah. I haven't drank in like 8 months. This is weird. Other than my summer vacation, I've been pretty clean. So this is.
So you decided to be
cheap drunk.
unprofessional today? How dare you, Stephen?
Yep, of all days.
Shame. Unprofessional indeed.
Yeah. So one of the reasons it came out is so Stephen King, who's one of my favorite writers, he filed termination notices on his works. The main ones were The Dead Zone, Cujo, Creepshow, Children of the Corn, Cat's Eye, and Firestarter, as well as Pet Sematary, to regain full rights back of the ability to make TV shows and movies. The writer of Friday the 13th is currently in a law battle over it. And there's a few it's a lot of horror movies from the looks of it, where the writers are just tired of people redoing the movies without their input. And so they're taking it back. And so that was going to be our topic today, which is super exciting.
It was going to be our topic. Did we change it?
No, it is our topic today.
So you just gave that entire introduction just to say it was going to be our topic. Do Canadians do
Yes.
past tense differently? Is this like a new thing? Am I learning something?
I'm going to have to deal with this all day, all night.
Is your favorite story
Friendship
by
is
Stephen
magical.
King? Yeah. Is your favorite story by Stephen King that featuring the creepy jester, or is it Dark Crystal featuring a giant uber crazy crystal with Mr. Purple?
Probably neither, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would. If you want, my favorite Stephen King story is The Stand.
The
if you really want to.
shingles.
The shingles. Yeah. The sit down. The sit in.
The sit-in. For real though, did any of you see the new It movie? Speaking of that, making
No.
Yes. Yes.
okay. Was it
I
as
have,
good as the
yes.
first one? Oh, let me be clear about that. I'm not comparing it to Tim Curry's version. I'm saying
no, I know what you mean. The first movie.
Right. Was the first half better or was the second half better?
I want to say the first half was better.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen the
half I would
first
say is
half.
better.
It creeped me out. I haven't seen the second half. I've seen all of the Tim Curry one. But that's a little old.
Yeah. So the second half is different. It's very different than the first half.
Okay.
I will say that.
Okay.
I'm not going to ruin anything.
No
spoilers.
Yeah, because Jess wants to see it. So.
Yeah, it's worth watching. It is totally worth watching. It is still really, really, really well done. The guy that plays Pennywise is super creepy, and yeah, that's
that dude's brother that played the jungle dude. He's also a vampire.
That narrows it down.
Well, he played. They did the what do you call it? The movie about Tarzan. He did the Tarzan movie. That's the brother, the guy who played the Tarzan dude. He's also plays the vampire in True Blood, I think. Anyway,
really?
Yeah, his brother is the one who plays Pennywise.
So it's Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise.
There you go, Skarsgård. That's the one. Thank you. That's it.
There's actually a really funny video of. So in the second one, Bill Hader's in it.
Yeah, I saw Bill Hader. I love Bill Hader.
He didn't know that Bill Skarsgård can actually, the eye thing that he does where one eye is completely moving independent of the other.
Yeah.
Bill Hader thought that was like CGI or a prosthetic in the first movie. He didn't know that he could really do it. And there's a video of them on like a red carpet somewhere or when they were first meeting, and he shakes his hand and Bill Skarsgård does it, and Bill Hader like runs out of the room, like totally freaked out.
Like, this is real. Why is this happening?
Yeah, it's so good.
So you'd say
I can do that.
Really? You can move them independently of each other?
Yeah. It's not something I broadcast that I can do, but I can do it.
You just broadcast it. Just saying.
Funny. Not normally. I don't normally tell the world.
Yeah, you just.
But here I am. Here I am.
Your sharing is caring. Sid, sharing is caring.
I just wrote an essay about this.
So Sid, what's your favorite Stephen King movie or book? How did we get back on horror again? I thought we just did this.
I don't know.
This is what happens when you leave me in charge of topics during October.
Last time I checked,
everything is horror for me for this entire month.
He's the host, right? Like, so he's always in charge of what we talk about. So that's fair, though.
I think one of my favorite Stephen King books, to answer your question, Errane, is Under the Dome.
Is that
Cell.
A football movie?
Mainly because Cell scared the bejesus out of me.
Wait,
I didn't touch my cell phone for like 3 weeks.
That is a really good book. They were supposed to make it into a movie.
No, I thought they did make it into a movie.
They tried.
Wasn't that
I don't know if it actually went anywhere.
No, that's different. So the one with J-Lo is called The Cell, and totally different premise.
Okay, so I'm not wrong
Cell
though. She's in a movie.
Phones.
She's in a movie that's called The Cell. Okay, but Cell is it's about cell phones?
Yep, cell phones turn you into zombies.
I mean, isn't that
like
true though?
Rage monsters.
That's that's also true. So.
Yeah, but it's full on like 28 Days Later style zombies where it's all anger.
Oh, like raging.
It scared me enough when I first read it that I didn't touch my phone for a month. Okay. And then Under the Dome was just kind of weird. Like, I had to read it a few times to really understand what was going on in it. But I think they tried to turn that into a TV show, which I never watched.
They did. I did. It wasn't very good.
Well, see, there you go. Now I probably never will watch it.
Well, okay, the first season was good, but then the second season kind of just...
Meh.
It got weird. Yeah. Oh, okay. So now I realize who his brother is. As weird as it is, I figured out who he was because he was the older brother in Battleship. of all movies to remember him from.
But
Battleship.
But you didn't figure it out. I already told you. So you need to stop.
You told
stop
me,
taking
but I didn't
credit.
remember.
Stop taking credit. Okay. I did this. It's all me. Me.
Sure.
So The Stand, huh? Wait, was that one of the things you listed that Stephen King would be getting back?
I don't think he ever gave up the rights to that.
Oh, that TV show was his? Wasn't it a miniseries?
I think so. It was a miniseries, and it was not a very good miniseries.
There's that crazy dude that has like the nuke on the truck or something.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. I don't remember much else.
The book is massive. The book is like 1,000 pages. It's really long. It's a really good read, but it's really long.
Anything that is the length of like the Bible is not a good read, Stephen. It's 1,000 pages. I don't.
Says the guy in college.
Yeah, no, I don't read the books. What are you talking about, dude? I make it all up. That's how you make straight A's in college. You just make it up. Now
That's half true.
No, it's full true. It's full true.
You can't make up everything.
Everything, numbers.
So
letters,
just while we were
symbols,
talking, just
all of it.
Just because I was looking up who Bill Skarsgård's brothers are.
Oh
Did you know his other brother is an actor you would know too? Just
So is his dad.
His dad too?
His dad is Dr. Selvig from the MCU.
So
seriously,
today we're discussing the Skarsgård family.
Yes, it went from
we're going to talk
writers
about
getting their rights back to now the Skarsgård
Well,
family.
is that very interesting though, Stephen? Like writers getting their rights back? Do we care? I mean, what are interesting stories about writers getting their stuff back? Doesn't the Harry Potter chick have all of the rights to her stuff? So all is well.
She has all her rights.
No, then we're good. Everything's fine. As long as Harry Potter's never tainted, we're all good. Everything's going to be okay.
They're doing another movie.
They are.
Apparently.
I haven't seen the fantastical.
With all the original cast.
I haven't seen any of the Fantastical Beast stuff. Is that any good? Isn't that like America's
it's
Harry
not bad.
Potter? Isn't that how?
No.
Oh.
No. The first one takes place in New York.
Oh, so it's America.
It's
America Harry Potter. Got it. That makes sense. New York's in America, Stephen. I know you're Canadian, but if you didn't know, New York.
But it's not about an American wizard.
No.
It's about
Did you hear what I said though? Like America, New York is in America, so it's okay. You tried though. It was really good.
Oh my goodness.
So
it's gonna be one of those days.
What are some other writers than Steve besides Stephen King that are getting? Wait, you said he's getting Cujo back. Cujo, isn't that the evil dog?
Yes.
The rabies dog. Yeah.
Oh, is that what he has? Is rabies?
And Children of the. He does have rabies.
Oh, that's not as scary. What made it a scary movie? Then?
It's not as scary once you realize.
Wait, did you just give away the ending? Steven.
The book's been out for 40 years.
Whoa, I have never read it. Okay.
You probably never will either.
You're right. That is 100% true. So, who are some other writers getting their rights back? Or did you only talk about
Victor Miller?
King? Who's Victor Miller?
No. Victor Miller is the original writer of Friday the 13th.
Oh, you did talk about him. You did talk about that. So I have something to admit. So Friday the 13th, that's Freddy Krueger, right? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So
no. That's Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's right.
Freddy Krueger is Jason.
Or you mean?
And the person who wrote Nightmare on Elm Street is working to get his rights back as well. All of the old 80s horror movies, all of the writers are doing it.
So this stays on topic then, funny enough with what you just said. So the only Jason movie I've ever seen is also the only Freddy movie I've ever seen.
Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that's a fact. I've never seen any of the other ones, and I didn't even finish that movie. And I never will. I don't want to see either of them. But isn't Jason, who was isn't that where the Queen of Scream comes from? What's her name?
No, you're thinking that's Halloween. That's Jamie Lee
That's
Curtis.
it. It is
in
Halloween. Yep, that's Halloween. There it is.
Yeah, and that's Michael Myers.
So is that getting taken back as well then? Because that's actually
I think that has already gone back.
Okay. Because what's his name?
And he's the one in charge of the new stuff.
The Rob Zombie did that Halloween movie, didn't he?
Yes, and that's been rebooted again or forgotten again.
Okay.
They've got a whole new. They're redoing it like with Jamie Lee Curtis this time. They're redoing all of them again.
Oh wow!
Basically,
Jesus. Okay.
Or continuing on, I should say.
Right.
Yeah, but so just because we were talking about it, so the Jason one, Friday the 13th, there's a weird sort of kind of loophole with this. So the writer owns the rights to, I believe, the first movie. But in the first movie, Jason isn't even in it. Jason isn't the killer in the first movie.
It's his mom, right?
It's his mom. And you only see him at the very end as a kid coming out of the water. And then in the second one, he doesn't even wear the mask. He doesn't wear the mask until the third movie. And so there's
just blowing all sorts
people
of
are believing that they
today,
could.
Aren't you?
Totally. Yep. So there's a lot of people that think that they could continue on with Friday the 13th without, even if the writer gets his rights back, because the studio was kind of who made up Jason in the version he is, because in the first it was the mom that was the killer. So it's going to be interesting to see in the next little bit what actually happens over these things, because there was a lot of, like, there was supposed to be a new Nightmare on Elm Street being made. There was supposed to be another Friday the 13th. And they've all kind of been on hiatus while these legal rights start to get hammered out.
Interesting. Now, when you say that the writers are getting their rights back, do you mean like they just have the right to the script or whatever? Is that all it is?
Yeah. So it's a little bit weird depending on which writer. So the Stephen King one is the most published. He took back his North American rights.
He didn't want his Canadian rights. I wouldn't want my Canadian rights either.
North America. Canada is part of North America.
No. But you're not a part of North America. You're a top hat to North America, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so he took back the rights to North America.
What about Japan?
But the world rights are still available or still owned by somebody else. He actually, because he started this whole process 3 years ago in 2016 is when he put out the termination notices, and you have to give termination notices 2 years in advance of when the rights revert back to him.
Oh.
And so as of September 1st, 2018, he had the rights back for most of his stuff. He has since sold most of those rights for $1 to a film school in, I'm going to butcher it, it's in England somewhere, might be in Wales.
Wait, who is this again?
So Stephen King.
Got it.
So this film school in England has the rights to make movies. So any student that goes there has the ability to make a Stephen King movie.
Oh, interesting. And he was doing that as like an education support thing, or?
That's what it sounds like. He wants to bring back the creative side of movie making.
That's pretty dope, though. I respect that. That's neat.
Yeah, I would clickety-clacky and find the school, but...
Clickety-clackety.
Yeah, so it came from a 1998 Copyright Extension Act under Sonny Bono's name.
Sonny Bono?
Yep.
Sonny Bono?
Yeah, so it added a provision, so it extended the copyright length to 20 years, or extended the length of, term 20 years, but it added a provision allowing authors to terminate any transfers of copyright they had entered into after 35 years had passed for works first published after 1978. So that's where the law came from.
Okay, so what is this really about?
Great episode.
No, this is a terrible episode. So what is it? what is it really about? Is it about money, or do they want their like
I think
the right to the creation? Like, it's hard to say, but like,
I think it's mainly because
you know what I mean? Like,
whoever
do they want rights to
had
say that movie sucks and I don't want that to be released, or do they just want money?
with
I think
Stephen
it
King, I don't think
totally-
it's about money.
Yeah, no, Stephen King, it's about the fact that he hasn't liked anything that's been put out. He hated The Shining. Absolutely hated The Shining.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't liked most of his other books turned into movies. I don't know how he feels about the current It. I mean, he was in it, so that might be a sign that he liked it. Spoiler, in part 2, he's in the movie.
You're really bad at this, Steven.
I am really bad at this.
I don't know. I don't know how he felt about the Dark Tower one they did either.
I wanted to see that movie really bad.
It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Tell me how to live my life, Steve.
Because I wanted to see it too. I want to read the book first, but I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, I
Which
definitely won't.
chapter? The Dark Tower is a massive.
That
I
was
was
his
gonna read them
earliest
all.
book, right? Dark Towers, when he started, when he
It's-
was like in his teens.
Gunslinger.
It's been going for a long time.
Gunslinger was not one of his first. I think like Colorado Kid and all of that were like his first ones. I don't think Gunslinger was. Gunslinger was the one that, oh, you know what? I think you're right. I think the Gunslinger was the one that got rejected by like 4 or 5 different publishers and then finally found one that would publish it, and then it was super successful. So I think you're right, Aaron. My bad.
You
better
Yeah,
save this
Gunslinger
recording.
was
I'm
the-
never going to admit that again.
Yeah, Gunslinger was the very first one.
Wow.
1982 it was
For a
released.
guy who doesn't read books, I'm doing pretty all right.
It's quite surprising.
Listen, I've read 3 books in my life cover to cover. 4 books in my life cover to cover. Sorry. Perks of Being a Wallflower.
And all of them are comics.
No, I don't count those. I'm saying books without pictures. Okay. I've read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. That was the very first book I ever read cover to cover. Does anybody want to guess how old I was when I read that book?
25.
I was 20. I was 20, not 25. The second
Still.
book I ever read cover to cover was In Your House, Sid, while you guys were underway. And that was
It was the one you talked about a few episodes ago.
Ahsoka. Yeah, that was Ahsoka. The other 2 books I've read cover to cover are the first 2 of the 3 Admiral Thrawn series that was written. That's not canon anymore, but the Star Wars books. I've read the first 2, and I started the 3rd one and I didn't finish it. But I did read the first 2, so 4 books in my life cover to cover that I've read. So you can take that for what it's worth. And that's not a lie. That's a fact. Yeah. I'm not proud of it. I really wish I'd read more, but I just haven't. So there we go.
I read Romeo and Juliet more times than you've read books. Period.
Yeah, for me, that
Rude.
and Wuthering Heights. I read that book a lot.
Like, yeah, I want to say between the ages of 12 and 17, I probably read Romeo and Juliet close to 100 times.
Jeez. Yeah, those book
I don't
clubs
know.
that people
Yeah,
did, I thought were just a joke. I was like, who would do that? Why? Why would you read all those books? That sounds like a waste of time, and I just drew stuff instead.
I actually really enjoy reading. I can get lost in a book and end up staying up all night reading. So I don't have time to do that or the ability to as an adult. So it's really hard for me to get into reading books.
I found my secret to staying on the elliptical for a decent amount of time. I read a book.
Reading while you're doing it?
Yeah, I started. So I tried watching like TV shows on Netflix or something, just to see if I could make it. No, I never made it through an entire episode, and I tried to run for like 3 miles at least. And then I started reading some of my books, and I can make it the entire time. And it's like, wait, I want to keep going. I want to know what happens next.
That's actually
Which is
pretty
awful.
dope.
There are-
Not gonna lie, that you can like stay interested in the book and that keeps you going.
Yeah, it's reading is magical.
I still, Errane, I still stand by. I think you need to read Ready Player One.
Oh, I stand by agreeing with you that I should read a lot more.
I
than
think-
that, but I just
I think you would like that better than the movie.
Really?
Ooh, that's a bold statement.
Especially for somebody as lazy as me. That's a lot. That's a lot to put out there.
There's a lot more detail in the book.
Do I
that
need
the
more
movie
detail
just
when I
doesn't
can
have
in the
time.
book?
Do I need the detail when I can just watch the cool stuff happen before my eyes on my
You'd
TV?
appreciate it.
I mean, what I know.
You would appreciate those details.
But I appreciate it.
Oh
No.
my god.
So
then tell
just
Jess
to
to
put some
read it.
context. Yeah, tell Jess to read it and give you the Cliff's
Oh,
notes.
that'll happen. Jess reads a book in like 3 hours, like especially one that small. She'd have it done.
Oh, me
in
too.
No time. That
Yeah.
girl is ridiculous.
So just for some context on why Aaron's, edgy today is he got a new phone and I called him Sheeple because it happens to be an iPhone.
Don't put your
And
problems on me, man.
I did it.
Don't you
Hey,
justify
I did
my
it legitimately
attitude.
just to trigger.
Listen here, pal.
I did it just to trigger you, and it worked. Not realizing today was Thursday and we would be recording.
You ruined everything. That's what you did.
I did. I'm
Wow.
just throwing everything under the bus.
You're under the bus. Yeah, that was a good.
You want to talk about this Marvel leak?
Yeah, might
Way
as
to go,
well.
Sid. Way to be on top of keeping us on subject.
Get us back. Yeah.
You suck, Steven.
Being that I don't have it open, you can
By the way,
You wanna-
I'm
Oh, no.
using my iPhone 11 and it is dope.
Oh my god.
It's so good. It's the iPhone.
I actually have Discord closed.
the iPhone 11
What?
Pro Max.
What?
It's got this sweet camera on it. I just got it today.
It's got 3 eyes.
It does. 3 eyes for watching me dance.
I tell you
Like,
what, some of those commercials make me want to go upgrade my phone, even though I am almost paid off on this one, and it still works just fine. Just watching some of the commercials, man, where the dog jumps up on the pedestal and when the cake falls on top of the phone and then it just sprays it off. Like, yeah, I'm badass.
Yeah, this phone is legit. I'm really happy. I'm going to be sending my ex back.
I'm just going to be quiet. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, there's Apple's as popular as they are for a reason. It's not my phone of choice, but I will not truly, honestly hate on somebody for having an iPhone.
He's a liar.
They
He does
are
it in
good at what
Discord
they do.
all the time. In fact, I've seen him do it in person. Don't let him fool any of you people. He's a liar.
Like I said, I like to trigger you. It's fun.
He is a liar. I will put on the Facebook page sometime evidence of the contrary. That he's a piece of shrew. Almost did it. Got out of there though. Pulled out.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. Look at me go. I've got more control. I need more rum.
Your pull-out game is
My
strong.
pull-out game. Now that is inappropriate. How could you, Steven? How could you take it there? How could you do that?
Oh man.
All right.
This is a waste of airtime. What have you done? What kind of... You bring the illiterate guy on to talk about books. That's... I don't read stuff, man. I need pictures. What are you bringing up? I hate you, Steven. You suck.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to go pick up my new books. Oh, they're in.
Are you talking about comics?
I'm talking about comics this
then
time.
That's cool.
Yes.
I like that.
You said books with pictures, and it reminded me I need to pick up my books.
That's important to tell everybody while they're listening about you needing to pick up your books.
Yes. So yes, the Marvel leak that Sid so graciously tried to get us back on the topic
What was that,
with.
5 minutes ago?
I
way to
failed.
get
It was
there.
probably,
I failed.
yeah. So it's one of the many that have come out this week, but is that Kevin Feige's plan is to have Spider-Man leading the Avengers, not Captain Marvel.
Okay, so let me hit this up.
So
Where did it come from that Captain Marvel was going to be leading the Avengers?
So apparently it came from Marvel at the time that she was going to be the face of phase 2, like Avengers phase 2, phase 4 and 5, 6
But why?
in the MCU.
Why would she be the face of it?
Because she's the most powerful being in the MCU.
Yeah, but where are the Avengers
Was the
based
thought.
out of?
Oh, I know that it's Earth.
Yeah, she doesn't
so she would
care.
have to be on Earth.
She doesn't
but
care about Earth, man. Like she does, but it's like infinitely smaller of a problem for her personally than every other hero that could potentially give a crap about Earth more. So
I don't think we're going to disagree with you, man. We understand.
This is one thing we're not going to fight.
I'm not asking for a fight. I'm saying I just didn't understand where it came from in the first place that people thought it was a good idea for Captain Marvel to even care. She's made it abundantly clear that in both her movie, after she realizes what her powers mean and what she needs to do, I mean, she spent most of her life with the Kree, after she became like the powers that she was. And then she's out defending the universe. Like she doesn't have time to deal with just Earth. So I don't know why anybody would have thought in the first place, or why even Marvel, if that's where it came from. If Marvel seriously was like, oh yeah, this is going to be our, like, I don't know why they would have ever said it or even thought that was a good idea. Even if they didn't get Spider-Man, that wouldn't have been a good call to make Captain Marvel the face of,
It may have been from like before the movie was actually done too. Like when they first approached her and Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Like it may have been discussed before that actually came out. Like, yeah, we approached her and blah 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 blah. I think that may have been what started it. But then after the movie and then Endgame came out, it was obvious she wasn't going to.
Yeah, because that's not where she lied. Like I want to see her in, like, interacting against like Adam Warlock or with Nova or the Guardians or even wherever Thor ends up. Like I'd rather, or Valkyrie, right, owning the Asgardians and stuff. I'd rather see, even though I guess technically Asgard's on Earth now, but either way, like I'd much rather see her in that role. I would much rather just see Sam take up charge of the Avengers since he's Captain America now. I would rather see that than Captain Marvel be in that role. I'd rather see like Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch. If you want to talk about most powerful, like, I don't know, Scarlet Witch is arguably more powerful than Captain Marvel. I mean, that'd be a fight I'd like to see. But
yes.
But the point is like you know what I mean? So I don't. This wasn't to like heated dispute. When you said instead of Captain Marvel, I just would like to know where that came from, because that I don't see what basis that would be on, like that anybody would have thought Captain Marvel would ever be the lead role versus like Spider-Man, sure, because of things that took place. I get it, kind of that setup for that, but either way, like he's a better candidate, or like anybody who's Earthling and like cares about Earth only would be a better candidate on that, because that's kind of the whole point. But yeah, anyway, sweet, right on. Spider-Man, he's back, baby. All right, cool deal. I'm good with it.
You're just like speeding through every possible topic we could have. It's amazing.
Listen here, pal. I'm just giving the go. The straightforward run of the mill. Hoo-da-ha. Yippity-yoo-yah. Kippity-ki-yay. I don't know.
Okay, I have a question. Yeah. I just thought of, it's completely unrelated to the topic with the exception of the fact that it's still Marvel. But I watched Endgame again this past weekend. And at the funeral at the end, when they're panning through all of the guests and stuff, the kid in the back, did anybody...
That's all by himself?
Yeah, did anybody realize who that kid was?
I didn't at first. I had to look it up after.
I didn't. I picked it up. I finally picked it up like a couple days after I watched it because the buddy that was watching it with us, he's like, who's that guy?
Before, Steve.
Shut up.
I know.
Shut up. Why would I listen to the Avengers episode that you did when I saw it for myself and cried the entire time? I didn't want to go through that emotional turmoil again. That might be one of the only episodes I never listened to. I'm tearing up. I'm tearing up just thinking about this movie.
If you actually like listen to that thing, I talk about the fact that I cried for like a half an hour at the end of that movie.
I cried almost the entire movie. It was horrible.
It was.
Anyways, the kid in the back, I finally realized who he was. And it was amazing for me.
Yeah, it was a really, really good tie-in. It was, it's the whole, how good they are at forethought and planning to bring him back for that was just genius.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to actually say who it is.
Yes, you
for
can
like
say
spoilers, because
we did.
Because you guys have already done it. Oh, it was the kid from from the Iron Man movie that saved Tony, pretty much.
Yeah, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, in that episode I had incorrectly said that he was the kid in number 2 that thinks he shoots one of the drones that Tony ends up killing, but that's because that's Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Then I had said that it was him, but I was wrong, and I had to admit that I was wrong on that one. Which, again, I apologize, since I didn't do my apologies at the beginning for how bad my audio was in that last episode. My computer is... No excuses. I need to fix it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it sounded like you were in a tin can there for a while.
It did. It was awesome. Because I tried everything to try and fix it, and nothing was working. It was
still pretty good. It was still a good episode.
It's way better than this one.
So today we're going to talk about last week's episode to boost up the ability for this week's episode to be a better one. I believe in us. We can do this.
Now you sound like you're in a tin can.
Oh my God.
I think he's having some headset issues.
I was going to say, I'm not actually joking. You do sound like you're in a tin can.
Yeah, he's muted at the moment.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what's going on. So the other thing that's leaked out recently, Mikey Sutton is one of the 2 bigger leakers that have come out in recent years. There's a lot of fighting over how legit he is, but with every leak that's come out, they're not 100%. If they were, then it'd be very obvious that they know everything. His one is that Disney is in the process again of trying to buy the entire Spider-Man universe back from Sony, and talking $4 to $5 billion to get the rights back.
Well, I mean, Disney could probably afford it. Let's be real.
I think they could. Are you back?
I think I'm still screwed up.
Yeah, you're a little bit. It's all good.
I mean, we knew that already.
I think it's taken from because I had to switch USB ports, but I think in the switching of the USB ports, it probably switched to my laptop speaker or laptop mic. So probably why it sounds weird now. And so
that's not bad.
Okay.
No, it's all right. Just a little tin canny. It's all good. Can,
Steve, shut up. Go oil yourself, lubricate yourself in your bathroom.
Don't be so salty.
I only know salt.
That's all I know. Salt is everything.
Salt is all I need. Salt is my lifeblood. Do you think that he's worth $5 billion?
Kind of.
I would say no. I would totally say no. except for the fact, like you've discussed many times, Errane, I'm actually giving you credit here, sir. Marvel put an inexorbitant amount of emphasis on him being the future, especially with like Far From Home, again with no spoilers, but they set him up to take over, and if they don't have him, it's going to be a lot harder for them than if they do. So from a Disney standpoint, I get it. He's worth that money. He's probably worth even more than that for them.
Sid,
Next, they could
have you
make it
seen
all
Far
back.
From
if
Home?
he- No, so
Oh my
everywhere I went,
Which is why I'm again, no spoilers.
Rewatched Endgame, but
at this rate, it's my own fault.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't available at any of the stores I went to.
Oh,
They
it's
were all
good,
sold
bro.
out.
It's all good. So I want to make sure I don't mess that up. So just in that knowledge. So what do you think then?
I mean,
Just
at this
seeing
rate, it's my own
Homecoming-
fault.
No. We're not gonna display that. So what do you think then?
Of course, I've
Just
seen
based off-
Homecoming.
Yeah, no, I'm saying based off that though, what you have from Homecoming and Endgame, without seeing Far From Home, do you think he's worth $5 billion?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if Disney pays that kind of money, well, I mean, how much did Homecoming and Far From Home make?
Homecoming is over $1 billion.
And then Far From Home?
Or no, Far From Home is over $1 billion.
Far From Home was over $1 billion. I think Homecoming was like almost $1 billion.
So if Spider-Man stays in the MCU after being bought by Disney, I feel like he'd be worth it to them to keep, even for
So-
just his cameos.
So how much does it cost to make those movies though?
So Homecoming cost $175 million
Okay.
to make, and they made
Okay.
880. So I'm looking up Far From Home. Just for
So-
reference.
Here's my thought. Originally, I wanted to say that he's worth more. Agreeing with your point, Steve, that not only to Disney, but honestly, as being Spider-Man, I mean, it's the most popular Marvel superhero you have. Now, is the $5 billion just for Spider-Man, or is it for everything? And I know this is an arbitrary.
I would
rumored
assume
number.
it's for
Okay, so
everything.
even
Yeah,
if
yeah.
this, whatever. Then if it's for everything, it could definitely potentially be worth more, because I know that people would be excited to see what Disney would do with characters like Venom and Doc Ock and Carnage. Pretty much the vat of Spider-Man villains and what they would do with that. I could imagine people would be pretty excited, and they could probably make their money back. And they'd probably be worth more. And Sony's got to know that. I doubt Sony would settle for only $5 billion. I'm sure they would take Disney for a ride. The reason why I don't see Spider-Man by himself being worth that much is it's not about Tom Holland's inability to act. Like, Tom Holland clearly is a great person for that role. He's doing a great job. However, he was just at the culmination of the 10 years of making movies, right? Like, he came in at Civil War,
Yeah.
Infinity War, Endgame. You've had him in Homecoming. You've had him in Far From Home. I mean, that's 5 movies that Spider-Man's been a pretty big deal in. Eventually, like, it's not that people won't see the movie, but will he be the moneymaker he's been? That would be my argument for him alone. Like, for instance, if you got that third movie, it's a trilogy at that point, right? And we know how trilogies usually go. I think where Disney could argue that investment is from the point that you just said, which is why you wouldn't get Sam as the leader of the Avengers, or even Scarlet Witch as the leader of the Avengers, because Tom Holland would be worth so much money. So fiscally, it would be responsible for Disney to put a lot more money into Tom Holland. So if they're going to buy him for that much money or even more money, then it makes sense to put him at the head of the Avengers, because then they're getting a lot more value out of him, if you will, right?
Yeah. And I mean, just to put it into perspective, I think Sony would be dumb to sell for that little. just because if it is the entire Spider universe that they were planning on doing, Venom made $900 million and is the largest grossing superhero origin movie ever. As bad as Venom
wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
It's a love-hate relationship. Yeah,
I don't think it was bad.
It was torn. It was in between it's borderline. It's so, just because it feels like two different movies in one. It really feels, to me anyways, with the amount of times I've watched it, it feels like they started off shooting it one way, completely changed their mind and shot it another way, and then tried to piece it together.
That's exactly what happened, though, isn't it?
It made almost $1 billion. That's the story, is they started off, it's going to be rated R, and then they cut it down to PG-13 because they wanted to bring Spider-Man into that universe.
Oh my God.
Because apparently they can't have Spider-Man in a rated R movie and a rated R person in a PG-13. I don't understand that at all. But Into the Spider-Verse made $400 million. So that alone right there is $1.5
Into
billion.
the Spider-Verse only
So
made
if you take Far From Home out of, yeah, but it only cost like 80 million to make. So it cost half as much to make as all the other movies.
That movie deserves to be, oh my God. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic of discussion.
It deserves to have made way more. I completely agree with you on that. But I mean, those two titles alone, and being that me and you both are big Venom and Carnage fans, like I was going to be lining up to watch Venom 2 with Woody Harrelson as Carnage, regardless of what happens. Like I was going to watch that no matter what. And there are a lot of other, exactly. And there's a lot of other people that were in that exact same boat.
Is that still going to happen?
They just wanted to watch it. Yes, apparently. So one of the things that has come out since this whole Disney, Sony they're going to counseling to try and work things out situation where they're sharing custody, is they truly are actually apparently sharing custody. So Tom Holland as Spider-Man is going to appear in Venom, but not the same Spider-Man that's in the MCU.
What?
So this is one of the rumors, is the whole multiverse thing is being really played up in Sony. And so the MCU is going to be, universe 616 or whatever they want it to be. And then the Venom universe is going to be a different one. So Tom Holland can be Spider-Man in both, but not the same. Which I think is a cool concept. It's just going to be really confusing for fans.
Yeah. But I mean, as long as they keep up with it, is Tom Hardy going to keep his role as Venom then? Cool.
Yes.
Love Tom Hardy. Man, sexy as all get out. I almost said another word, but.
But I will agree with you on that. He's done some really good roles too. If you haven't watched the movie Warrior,
God, that movie is on another level. Fantastic. It's so good. That's the MMA one.
Yeah. The guy who plays his brother.
Or is it boxing? Just
the what?
It's MMA.
Yeah.
It's MMA,
No, that's the MMA one. Yeah. Yeah. The guy that plays his brother is... he's a really good actor as well. I'm trying to think of his name. Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, no, he's good.
No, he's not Tom Hardy, but good. And their dad is Nick Nolte in the movie.
Original Hulk, right?
The whole, yeah. Yeah. So being that we're talking about rumors and stuff, did you guys see the rumor for the Black Widow movie that the rumor is the Red Hulk is going to be in it, because the guy that played the general in the Hulk movies, who's been in the Avengers movies, was shown in, there's been set photos that have leaked where he's like older with a cane, and they believe that he is going to be the Red Hulk, and he's creating the Thunderbolts, which is another
super villain team up. Older with a cane.
So that's where the question is it because we know most of the Black Widow movie is going to be
Right.
taking place in the past, but the set photos are him in the future with a cane. So
okay.
it's
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew that Black Widow, I mean, they've kind of, they've already said that her movie's a past movie.
It kind of has to be.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Or does it? Like, there's.
I did
mean,
read a
they
rumor
can-
that they were going to try to resurrect her.
Oh,
But
God.
how in the
Just let it be,
world are they going to do that?
Well, they've already said Tony Stark's in the movie too.
What?
As a rumor, yeah.
I thought
in the Black
RPG was
Widow
done.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's in the past.
That's where people are like, but is it in the past? So I posted the thing where it shows William Hurt on the set with the cane looking really old in the Discord. So, but yeah, it's so it's weird. The rumors that are swirling around what's happening in the MCU right now are really, really, really weird.
You're really weird.
It's gonna be interesting to see what finally comes out.
It will be fun.
Oh.
Yeah, like if you scroll down, it says Robert Downey Jr. confirms he's in Avengers 4.
I thought
So. Yeah, I don't know.
Avengers 4 is Endgame.
Yeah.
But why
he
would
was definitely in it?
Robert Downey officially confirmed he's returning for Avengers? He was.
I mean,
Why
would this be? Oh
Wow.
yeah, no, never mind.
Wow,
This is an
way
old
to go,
article.
Steve. You uncovered the truth.
Yeah.
News. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in Avengers 4, and guess what? It's going to be called Endgame.
Yeah. So,
did you know that? I'm on top of it.
So getting back to the whole Disney buying Spider-Man. I don't want them to. Now, the more I'm thinking about it, I don't want them to. They have enough right now with the mutant rights coming back to do that. I don't want them to try and fit in the Spider-Man universe. Like, yes, I want to see what Marvel could do with the Spider-Man villains because they are arguably the better villains in the MC in all of Marvel. But I want to see a properly done Galactus. I want to see a properly done Silver Surfer. I want to see like properly done. Like Magneto actually wasn't that badly done by both people. But like, there's so many things they just got back in. I don't want them to be like, well, we don't want it, because then I feel like it's a waste because there's so much they could do with those. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a fair point.
Because I'm just thinking, like, I'm really excited to see X-Men. I'm really excited to see Silver Surfer, like the Fantastic Four. If like the rumored cast stuff even remotely comes out to be true, I think that's going to be great. I don't want them to water it down with then trying to have to fit in, like, Doc Ock in there somehow. And
too many eggs, not enough baskets.
Yeah, because Disney's not gonna be putting out the movies. Like they'll do 3 to 4 movies a year, which is what they're doing. And so if they did buy the rights to everything, you're not going to see Venom until 2023. And I want Venom before that. So if Sony still has the ability to do those things, then I still get to watch them. And it's me being greedy.
I guess it's Disney and Sony being greedy too. So
Yeah. It'll be interesting. So one thing about the whole them going to counseling and trying to work things out again was apparently Tom Holland was the catalyst to this.
That doesn't surprise
think we've actually
me.
talked about this. So there's been stories before that came out about how when Bob Iger went on set of the Avengers and stuff, even Robert Downey Jr. like straightened his tie, made sure he looked good, and was like nervous when Bob Iger came on. Tom Holland called up Bob Iger and was like, I don't want to go. You need to figure this out. Like, could you imagine the balls on the kid to call up the head of Disney and be like, you need to figure this out because I don't want to go anywhere.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Oh my God.
You and mom need to talk, okay? I don't want to choose.
I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. Infinity War,
I don't want
anybody?
to go, Mr. Stark. Oh,
Wow.
the stories about how that scene came about is so good.
Wow. That's really,
I had to.
That's really going for it there.
As soon as you said, I don't want to go, you need to figure this out, I was like, oh, Infinity War. He pulled some
I gotta chime
heartstrings.
in.
He pulled heartstrings. That's what he did. I bet you
Yeah.
he thought about it before what he was going to say. And that's why he said what
I
he
actually didn't. You give me far too much credit, ma'am.
So, wait, did he actually say that though?
No. I honestly, nobody knows what he said.
Well,
but
I'm going to believe that that's what he said.
I'm sure he did. But apparently he
Because
called
that
the
would
head of
pull on
Sony.
anybody's heartstrings.
Yeah. But yeah, so apparently he called the head of Sony, he called the Bob Iger, and he called Kevin Feige and said, you guys need to figure something out because we need to make this work. So it's a pretty ballsy move if he did, and it says a lot. And if you haven't seen the social media that he put out for when they re-announced it, it's worth the watch.
Okay, on my to-do list.
I think yes, it is. It's really quick. I'll probably just find it and link it.
This is the one from The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
It is the one from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. It's really good.
Yeah. Errane sounds like he's falling asleep, so it's probably a good time to end this amazing episode.
Oh my God. If this gets the least amount of downloads, I will be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'll also blame you.
You could even put in the title, like, we know this sucks. Just listen anyways.
We know what we did. Episode 26.
Do you need some white noise while you bask in your wallow in your sadness? We're pretty good at bringing your spirits lower. If you think that you're sad, just listen to this and know that you could be worse off, and it's all good.
Have you been having an amazing day and you need to roll back? You need to rein in your expectations? Listen to this episode. Oh.
Do you need a realistic outlook on life? Listen to this sad piece of crap and everything will come into perspective.
Yeah, so to reach us and tell us how bad of an episode we really did. I'm at CanYouGeek.
Please tell us. I want to hear it.
He is at Southam Designs. She's at Sid Stare. We're at CanYouGeek
I like how last
Podcast
episode he's like,
on
I gotta
Facebook.
stop saying he and she.
She, and I just did it again.
And then he
I know.
goes and he just did it again.
Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
Eventually I'll work it out.
Any lessons from himself.
By episode 100, I'll have it down. Really, what'll end up happening is I'll just record it, and then it'll just be like edited in at the end.
Now that I've only suggested that to you a few times. So
just a few.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, eventually it'll get done.
One day.
Yeah.
By episode 100, I guess. So everybody just suffers through 74 more episodes, and eventually this will all be cleaned up. Yeah.
We'll be we'll rebrand at that point and
Oh, is that what the
relaunch.
plan is?
Yeah.
So just
We'll
everybody
work
hang
out
in
all the
there
kinks
until,
and then
yeah, we'll hang out for like another year or so, and then we'll eventually get it all worked out. Just please bear with us.
we'll get there.
This is a depressing episode. What is this nonsense?
So what did we learn today? Don't drink beer and record a podcast.
Yes.
I'm drinking liquor, dude. I'm straight rum and lemonade.
You're not allowed to do that when we record anymore.
You're an angry drunk.
No, he's really not, normally.
I know he's not.
Yeah,
I know he's not.
Tired.
I think he's only like that
Shouldn't
because you
talk
called
crap
him a
on my
sheeple.
iPhone. Yeah, you really
it's
did.
totally only.
I hate you so much.
There we go. Episode 26. Errane the sheeple.
Oh, I hate you.
And the
I
episode-
I
would
wouldn't
murder
do
you.
that.
And the one
I
that
would not do
sucks.
that.
That's what I'll do. Show you
Yeah.
sheeple.
When I come visit, you can
Case
show me
of
all the
quitting,
sheeple.
Aaron. Just call it that. Yeah. Terrible.
With that, friendship is
Oh,
magical.
It is. And
Oh,
with that,
man.
later, nerds.
Later, nerds.
Later, nerds.
Today's music is used by permission from the artist Broke for Free. The song is called Something Elated. You can find it on freemusicarchive.org